And it's another cool day. It was 3 this morning Fahrenheit, and the garage is up to 48 degrees. The heat's been on for about an hour, and good day to hibernate in the garage. So last note was getting the driver's side done, the important side, you know. And I figure we're going to try to kick in and get the other half of this side done, and it should go easier because I already have a routine down now. So I'm going to get to this, and we'll do the same thing all over again that was done on the other side, and see if we can get this all finished welded up today. That's my plan, is after I get that side in, we'll buzz it all the way down and try to feather it, the weld in, and see how good it looks or how distorted it gets, or somewhere in between the two of them. So without further ado, let me get started. Alright, so I tackled this guy a little differently as far as sticking in a shrinker stretcher. I tried to leave this corner alone and work more with this whole length of it to get it to lay down, where the first time I tried manipulating this part of it to make that fit, and that seems to work pretty good. There's no clamps on it, and you know, we're within 1/8 of an inch or so all the way around, so it's thin enough to just kind of, you know, clamp and stuff down into the corners. So that's the battle plan now, is I'm going to go and clamp it all the way around, and then I'm going to work into this lip with I think I showed it on the last one. Kind of made my own 5-in-1 tool, piece of blade, and you know, some of it on the straightaways I can hit like that or like that. Very tight corners I can use the tip of it I'm using, and you know, again, for working the radius around, and just hammering that in there. That seemed to work pretty good for me. So you know, you got to make your own stuff once in a while, and let that cool down a little bit, and we can go hit it with a Sharpie and show where we are. This one's a little on the lumpy side, but it's due to what's underneath it. And I think what it is, on this one there's more still kind of connected, so there's the past hammering of the metal together when they bonded it the first time. So wherever the metal was, it started a little proud, and wherever it was rotted all the way through, it kind of was pushed down a little. And if I had to do it again, I may work that lip a little bit before I did it, but not terrible. I'll get it this way. You know, the main goal is for me to try to match what's there, and if it's a little wavy, at least when I weld it back together, it'll be a little wavy and it'll be touching each other. I'm trying to justify it now. So let that cool off. I'm going to go mark it, and we'll trim out the inside of that, get rid of some of that back metal that's behind it, and we'll see how that kind of fits underneath it. We'll start carving this one down. I also got to clean that strip up, get all the burnt off paint off of it, so we get nice shiny metal to attach to. Yeah. I can fine tune it when I take it off too. I'll take some of these, you see, like a little high spot, I'll work them off while it's off. And yeah, it's Brody. Brody's our rescue visiting. Brody here's snacks right now.
Just a little bit. I don't want too much. He'll end up with
That's it.
diarrhea.
Oh, that's attractive. He's out of here. You got a snack.
That's it.
And he's on a little sabbatical. Came over to go visit. Looks a lot like Mogul. We lost, what was about a year?
July of 2014 already.
2 years, yeah.
Almost 2 years.
So we got a little visitor kind of reminding us of what we had before. Oh, wow. And he's really afraid of men, as you can tell. Aren't you? Big doggy. You big doggy.
He's a good boy. I won't talk.
See ya. Come back. Yeah, you're so afraid. You're timid, aren't you? Well, there goes about 5 feet of tack welds. So basically the tacks were probably about every 1.5 inches apart. roughly, and then just stepped around and did between 2 tacks on one end, jumped around the other end, and just kind of filled it all in. So it's all one solid piece now. Now I gotta go and hit it with a grinder. This side's a little bit more janky, a little more wiggly. But right where that weld is where there's supposed to be like a an angle anyway. So we're gonna do I'm gonna do my best to try to carve in a line of sorts. Again, the seal should cover that, or at least kind of come right to that, so you shouldn't see that much. And I'm hoping I'm about a 1/16 under. I think this is probably about a 1/16 down lower than it used to be. And again, I just want to leave myself a little bit of room for filler to have some place to go after I clean it all up. Let's get good penetration all the way around. I'm on good metal on the front side. Sometimes you cut it back, but you don't cut it back far enough, and you're trying to weld to paper, But that seemed to be the case on this one. So now it's time to get the flapper disc out. Looks like I missed a spot right there. Yeah. So I'm gonna go get the flapper disc out and go and true it all up, and then wherever seems to be bare spots, I'm gonna come back. There's another one right there, and do a little finishing touches. So I'll bring you back in a minute as soon as we get that all cleaned up. In the final reveal, dun, da, da, da. There you go, y'all. Ground down and shaped into place. I still have to deal with this yet, but as far as the windshield hole, I am liking that. I took a flapper disc, just kind of knocked the weld down somewhat, then I came back with a couple of files and use those as a straight edge to true up, this angle and this angle coming up, and it's decent enough for the filler to take care of the rest of it. Again, if somebody didn't start on this and botched the crap out of it to begin with, I think I really would have been able to get it dead nuts, but you kind of see where they just kind of hammered it down and went to go fill over it. So I am working with a little bit of unknowns as far as where the dimension is supposed to be, kind of that way, and height. But I think I got it pretty good. I think some mylar, no, the fiberglass Bondo needs to go over the top of where the welds are, knock them down one more time with a file, and tomorrow the gasket should be here. I just want to lay it in there. I believe the gasket kind of comes over this lip right here, so really nothing's going to show inside there, but just for my own personal satisfaction, I want to try to clean it up as best as possible, and it's definitely a lot better than 5 feet of holes, I'd say. I also carved down this top lip to match the inside one, because you figure that was the correct height to begin with. And none of these are pinholes. This is just where the weld is kind of sitting proud. But there's no sense knocking that down because I have to fill up to that point anyway. This is a fun one to do. It gets intimidating a little bit because you're worried about screwing it up, but once you get into it and start doing it and just go for it. I say that now. I'll be putting the windshield in. It'll be a ½ inch off. We'll make it a safari windshield. We'll make it flip up. But I am definitely happy with kind of how that came out. No more holes. I can kind of go dig somewhere else on the body and go see where else we can go find. I know that lower apron is got some punkiness going on. Sounds like a lot of metal, but the very bottom of it may need some a little bit of love. And I'm sure we're going to run around it with a magnet. We're going to find some other spots to do, but I would say this is probably the most critical of everything that was on here. So next time it'll be that much easier. All right. Well, guys, again, thanks for taking the journey with me. Again, it's a long, slow process, but you know, it's a little bit less every time. You remember when when I first got it, what it looked like, and no engine, no trans in it, all the parts just thrown in it, no floors. And I'd say we're probably about 90% done with the metal work now. You know, floors are done, gates are done, frame's done underneath. This is done. You know, just whatever we start finding on the bottom punkiness. And then after that, we're start doing body work and try to get this thing ready for paint. And yes, I do believe I'm going with paint. We're not going to go with the rust. I'm allowed to fantasize though, ain't I? So we'll get her back together. I haven't decided on colors yet, but we're pretty far away from that right now anyway. So, and the roof looks pretty decent. I don't see any dents or anything on top, so I think that's just more of a sand and go. It's just when we get to my favorite part of doing body work and trying to get it nice and level and straight, and I start rushing it. Let's do shifts. I'll do the metal work. Somebody else do all the Bondo. Who's good at it. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm gonna go shut it down. Go in and wash my hands, get myself a cup of coffee. And again, thanks for watching. Later.